Hello everyone, this is Andrew Becker. I'll prove it to you. And today I'm going to be going over a chicken wing dissection that we did for lab. The purpose of this dissection was to kind of expose and study the anatomy of the elbow joint. So here I've stripped away most of the muscles of the upper arm and the forearm. Anatomically, this would be the left limb of the chicken, the left upper extremity. And we're primarily dealing with this joint right here. It's formed by the articulations of the humerus with the radius. That's this thin bone of the forearm. That's going to be the most lateral one. And the humerus also articulates with the ulna right here. They come together in a synovial joint, which is an encapsulated joint. It's got a very thick fibrous tissue layer that kind of surrounds and encapsulates it. Actually left a little bit intact right here so that you guys can see it a little better. This would be the anterior surface. And then the posterior surface, I cut it away so that we can get an idea of the structures inside the joint. So right here, this little bit, kind of hard to see, you can see that all of the bone-on-bone surfaces are lined with cartilage, articular cartilage, and that's to kind of cushion the bone ends as they move against one another. And to reduce friction, this whole inner cavity here is lined with a synovial membrane. So it's very fine, you can't even really see it, but that's going to coat the cartilages and the walls of the synovial capsule. Within here, further to reduce friction, is going to circulate a small amount of synovial fluid. That's actually 2 points. One, it reduces friction, and the other is that it helps get nutrients to and from the tissues in here because they don't really have that good a blood supply. Like I said, the whole thing is wrapped up in this synovial membrane, and they're encapsulated. That's what makes it a synovial joint. One of the interesting disease processes that affects synovial joints is a condition called gout. That's actually a form of arthritis. It's caused by uric acid crystals that get deposited within the synovium, within the joint space. Now, these crystals will precipitate out of our blood when the levels there get too high. A number of things can cause this: genetics, diet, impaired kidney function. And what happens is they start irritating the tissues there, and they'll cause an inflammatory reaction. That's the term arthritis, or inflammation of the joints. It generally tends to go away on its own, but it can get chronic. And when it becomes chronic, we get this repetitive cycle of inflammation, which can actually damage the surfaces in there. It'll start eating away at the cartilage, which makes the bone-on-bone action kind of grating, and the joint gets very, very stiff and painful over time. One of the interesting things about this disease is it seems to crop up more in the joints of the feet. And we think there's the hypothesis out there that the colder temperatures in the feet help prompt these uric crystals out of solution. As the temperature goes down, things tend to crystallize out of solution a lot easier. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and I will see you all for the next one.